Assalamu alaikum, it's your sister Alexa here, and this video, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, so it is out a little bit late, but I do want to discuss not celebrating Christmas as a revert, and I know this can be a very sensitive subject for us reverts, no matter what decision we make, and so I just want to say that this video is not about judging or shaming anyone for the way that they go about Christmas with their family. It's not an easy time of year. It's not. And there's already so much shame and judgment that reverts put on themselves. And that can be amplified by the Muslim community sometimes. And so I don't want to contribute to that. I don't want to participate in that. It's not about judging anyone's approach. That being said, I was actually criticized last year when I made a community post about my decision to, for the first time last year, not participate in my family's Christmas traditions and my family's Christmas dinner. And I had a very negative response from Muslims online. I was told that I was going to make Islam look bad to my family, that I was being too conservative. Or I think maybe they said strict, or you're being too rigid or something like that. I was told that, my family will dislike Islam because of me, that I should have more respect for my family and that I should use Christmas as an opportunity for dawah. Now, obviously, I can't expect people to know what I've already done. But I have tried to use Christmas as an opportunity for dawah, and um, I don't want to get into exactly who said what or, how my family responded because I'm trying to maybe say less about my family these days online. But, suffice it to say, it didn't work. The Christmas dawah didn't work. It was not welcomed. And more important than what I did or what was said or how I came to the decision to not continue participating, more important than all that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has instructed our response to be when we are invited to share in worship or exchange worship with the polytheists. So many people already know the reason for the revelation of Surah Kafirun. I'm not trying to put myself in the position of your teacher or sharing some sort of hidden, special knowledge with you. Nothing that I say is special other than, um, the words of Allah are special. And so the thing is, online, we'll often see Muslims quoting Surah Kafirun as an example of Muslim tolerance and coexistence with other religions. And that's fantastic. Like, yes, it is part of Islam to coexist with other religions and to be tolerant of the people of the book in particular. But that's not the context in which Surah Kafirun was revealed. Intercultural tolerance, that wasn't the context of its revelation. And as many people know, and as even children's books will tell you, the revelation of Surah Kafirun occurred when some of the high-ranking Quraysh approached Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and essentially said to him, "We will worship Allah alone for a year if you worship our idols the next year. And we'll go back and forth and we'll exchange our forms of worship. You can be a polytheist, we'll be a monotheist, and we'll have this compromise." So basically it was a compromise that was being proposed by the polytheists to the Prophet, peace be upon him. And that is when Allah sent down Surah Kafirun as a response. Say, O disbelievers, I do not worship that which you worship, and you do not worship that which I worship. I will not worship that which you worship, and you will not worship that which I worship. To you is your way, and to me mine. It is, I don't think it requires being a scholar to say that that very clearly is an instruction to abstention. It is a refusal, right? If you're saying that in response to this proposed compromise, this proposed exchange of worship, that is a statement of abstention. I will not worship that which you worship. You will not worship that which I worship. To you is your way, to me is mine. As an answer to a proposed compromise, this is clearly a refusal of shared acts of worship. This is abstaining from exchanging acts of worship. Now, some people might say, well, why are you applying that to Christmas? It's because of a mistake I made when I was trying to rationalize to myself, maybe I can still have good intentions about going to Christmas. And again, this isn't about shaming anyone else's decision, but I tried to justify to myself, oh, if I go for Christmas, then maybe my family will come for Eid and I can draw them closer to Islam by having this exchange. And so, astaghfirullah, in a way, I was doing what those polytheists had asked Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to do. Astaghfirullah. So, Allah has already told us how to respond to proposed exchanges of worship. Allah has already told us how to respond to, offers of a compromise in worship. So, to you, your way, to me, mine, isn't just a statement of tolerance, it's also a statement of abstention. And I know I'm not qualified to give tafsir, I'm not trying to claim to be your Quran teacher, but I think that's pretty basic. I think that that's, the obvious. Again, I'm not trying to shame anyone for the decisions they make. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy, and most reverts are not going to their family Christmas feeling comfortable and happy about it. I've even heard of some reverts who, those who can afford it. I mean, if you can afford this, that's a fantastic idea to go on vacation during the winter break. Like if your kids are out of school or, whatever the situation is, go on holiday. Take a plane somewhere. And then, oh, sorry, can't come to Christmas. We're going to Malaysia or whatever the case may be, right? So, for those who can afford it, that's a good option to get out of having to attend Christmas without just saying, no, I don't want to. It may be less awkward. But really, if I'm going to give any piece of advice in this video, I'm not going to say, don't go. But what I am going to say is that there will always be people who aren't pleased with your actions, right? If you go to Christmas at your family's house, there will be Muslims saying, oh my God, how could you do this? Don't you know it's haram? You need to stop doing this. If you don't go to Christmas at your family's house, as I've experienced firsthand, people will say, oh my God, how can you do this? You're hurting your family. You're going to push them away from Islam. You're going to make Islam look too rigid. There's always going to be someone saying you did the wrong thing. So if I'm saying that anyone should do anything, then I'm saying that we should, myself included, we should be striving to please Allah. Our main motivation should never be pleasing people or getting the approval of people, because there's always going to be someone who disapproves. You can never get the approval of every person. So what we should be striving for is the approval, the pleasure, the love of Allah, and being able to say, the decision I made for Allah. In any situation, not just Christmas. So that's my reminder. That's my wintertime Islamic reminder from Lady Grinch, I guess. And I hope that it's been of benefit. Maybe it hasn't, but I know that it's not an easy time of year. And whatever your decision is, whether you attend, whether you don't attend with your family, just keep with those baby steps. Some people online say baby steps aren't good enough. Baby steps are better than nothing. Keep trying to make those little changes to please Allah and to do things for His sake, inshallah. So that's all I have to say on that topic. I know I ramble on a lot, but thank you for listening, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.